So it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to do this in a form of a book or organize this. I have lots of pieces, but I'm out of work. My injuries are stacking up. One for 25 years, and I don't even want to go through the list anymore. It just pisses me off. I spent the day home fixing my house, and I get about 10 minutes before the pain is unbearable, but I can sit, get back up, sit, get back up, and nobody 31 should still be waiting for the day that they can write a letter and not shake and have to do like one letter every minute because their hand is shaking uncontrollably. This was always a difficulty, and of course, it's worse than ever. It's not getting better. I haven't got it treated. I've been looking for treatment for 25 years. I've been begging for treatment. I brought it up to doctors all the way to the age of like 18. Took like a 5 year try to cure myself hiatus, and now I'm back for like 10 years now trying to fix this. 8 years, I don't even know. And it's just, I'm out of time. I've had my Social Security screwed up. So not only am I out of time, 5 different disabilities, things stacking up, body failing me for 25 years, and 11 years ago another, and then 15 years ago another, and 3 years ago, no, two. The head injuries are multiple, but GI 2, 3 years. I mean, this is gonna keep stacking, especially without the main one being treated. I mean, you can't fall every time you go outside and end up having fractures and scars and bleeding. And I mean, my legs, joints, places where they get whacked. I'm I have so many concussions they can't be good for me anymore. And there's just more coming. And I'm at the point where I don't think my body can take anymore. And it's not like I can take Tylenol, ibuprofen. I can't take any real products. I'm scared to vape. I'm scared of half the pharmaceuticals out there. And the pharmaceuticals that are safe or could help me, they're just playing games and nobody's going to help me. Nobody has admitted that there's a problem. So, of course, only, well, I have. I've admitted there's a problem. And I've tried everything to clean it up. I've wasted every dime I have, all the time I had left. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Somebody else already didn't want that to happen. They got it there first. Nobody wants to take responsibility for this either. No. The people that are around, I don't. There's one person that can do a lot. There's maybe 2 or 3 people that can do a little. And I'm gonna have to try to be nice about this. I'm gonna have to be like, I'm sorry, I'm mad at you because you really destroyed my health and you're killing me slowly. I'm so sorry you did that to me. It's so hard to try to be nice about this and then have people just be hurtful, run away. And it's not just like family members. Doctors are unbelievable too. Emergency rooms can be unbelievable. There's some really good ones out there. Like I've met a couple of doctors from Boston that weren't bad, but there's a lot that just would rather bill you and send you away. What's even worse is the doctors are the ones who armed my mother with her weapons. So it's a big problem. It's not 100% the doctor's fault, but there were doctors that fed into it. And I was not even able to comprehend what was going on at that age. Of course not. I mean, it's an ongoing issue, and I'm getting information every day. Like the most from my GI or my prostate thing, my urine turned black. I'm assuming that has to do with that. It could be one of my organs shutting down, internal bleeding. I don't know. But I've gone to the emergency room twice. I'm calling the doctors. I'm seeing the GI tomorrow. I'm doing everything I can, and I'm probably going to get worse because nobody's driving me for this. I'm on my feet trying to walk while injured to these appointments, to bus stops. So, of course, when I get home, I'm worse than ever. And don't think there isn't people who could or should drive me. It's just that if I ask, it'll be so ridiculous, their answers so just like excuses that I just can't do it anymore. I can't do it. It's the same reason why I don't even want to ask why my coworker is calling out. Because I don't want to hear it. I heard it the first 3 times. I just don't want to hear it anymore. Because I know bullshit when I hear it. And I don't want to call people out on it. I don't. I don't want to be the guy who calls you out on your bullshit. Just be straight, honest. Do what you got to do. Don't act like a 10-year-old. Act like a 50-year-old who actually gives a fuck about the next generation and what's going to happen in the future. I mean, that's part of the problem. We all want to profit now and give the problems to somebody else. And that's been happening for way too long. And if you need something, if we actually all work together, then nobody would need anything. But everybody keeps on wanting more and more and more and more and more of stuff that there just isn't enough to go around. And we're literally taking things that you just shouldn't be taking from people. Health, we're lying to them on packaging and food. Just some of the things going on right now is so wrong. Like the pharmaceuticals. I don't know how many times, but I think I'm on 3 times that I got letters or some type of message saying I was poisoned. And I had to figure out that my mother poisoned me over and over, or over medicated me to a point where it would be considered an overdose, or giving me addictive or controlled substances when they weren't prescribed, or extra medicines as punishments, or just crazy stuff that I just don't even want to talk about anymore. But I have to keep talking about it. I took a break, hiatus, tried to treat myself for a couple years. It was nice not having to deal with this shit, but it didn't. It worked, but with problems. Alcohol is not a good treatment, and opiates never was a good treatment, and never really was as good as alcohol. So no. And now I don't do either of those, so I'm just screwed. I don't do anything. I got like CBD and hemp. That's it. And I'm. By the way, they changed the meaning of hemp. When I say hemp, I mean old school hemp. I do have Delta 9 stuff for people if they want it. That's how I afford my CBD right now. Is CBDV is they buy Delta 9 hemp. That's like a Delta 9V, Delta 9 O or something like that. They buy that, and then I get my super expensive CBDV. But I like the CBDV because it helps. It doesn't get you stoned though. And if I'm gonna get stoned, honestly, I do like a tiny, tiny bit of regular old Delta 9 weed with a large amount of different types of CBDs. That's what I prefer. But each to their own.
Mm.